up, guys? I'm here with Cal, the one and only. How are you?
Good.
So I'm doing these videos for my coming out book, How to Choose Them, When to Lose Them. I'm going to give you a topic from the How to Choose Them portion about how you pick the people in your life and navigate that. And then I've also chosen a chapter of When to Lose Them. So Cal has always had a great perspective on all type of stuff. We get deep. We take it there.
We give each other advice all the time.
Yes, so it's been great to have you in my life, and whenever I leave you, I always feel better, and I feel like I've grown. So
sure.
I felt it was important to have him on so that you guys can feel the same way and get a little bit of, in his mind, a little bit.
A little bit.
So the first chapter I've chosen for you is about knowing the game. This is the guy. I'd like to think
I know.
So knowing the game and how different people, whether it's business, friendships, romantic relationships, you know, how knowing the game really prepares you for choosing the right people. Because then people can't play you as much, you know? You got a little knowledge, a little grip to you. So what is your perspective on the importance of knowing the game and kind of just having that knowledge behind you as you're navigating who you want in your life?
I think a lot of it has to do with experience.
Totally.
You know, over time you'll get a better grip on how people play the game.
Yeah.
And everybody in your life is gonna play the game a little bit differently, and the game itself is gonna change. So it's kind of about staying aware of your surroundings and aware of the people around you, and just being observant and noticing their behavior. Because over time, if you pay attention to their behavior, then it'll show the direction that they're going.
Right.
You know? So it'll show what people really want from you. It might be way different than what you initially thought.
Right.
You know?
What would you say in the last few years as you've gotten older and just all your experience in the music industry, in romantic relationships, like whatever, how would you say you've really grown? Like what is one point, if you can narrow it down to that? I know it's like a wide subject, but if you could give us one tidbit of information about a chance where you really grew on game.
You know, I think it's tough because when you get hurt in certain situations, whether it's a personal or a business relationship or whatever, I think the tendency is to start to shut people out.
Right.
Or cut people off when you see that behavior again because of the pattern.
Yeah.
So the hard part is really having a balance between, you know, accepting people's behavior and letting people in, and cutting people off when it's necessary to cut them off.
Right.
Finding that middle point is really difficult to do. And I think, honestly, for me, what's kept me happier over the last couple of years is kind of keeping my circle smaller.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of people. I don't feel either way towards a lot of people. Like they don't need to be in my life. And I don't need, you know, I don't need them, they don't need me. And it's like that doesn't mean that I don't like them or appreciate them.
Right.
It just means that, like, we probably don't have a significant role in each other's lives, and therefore it's probably not worth wasting our time and energy to build this superficial relationship.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, it's about, like, you know, if I can find the 3, 4, 5 people in my personal life that are rocks, that are anchors, you know, then I think that's like what's helped me personally and professionally feel like I have a system, like I have a backbone, you know. So I think it's about just finding the 3, 4, 5 people that you're confident in the direction that they're going, and you know, you're not going to second guess their agenda.
Right. Agenda. That's a whole conversation. So now we'll go into the When to Lose Them, which I have to mention this shirt. So this is actually his line, and I would love for you to explain a little bit about where you came up with this concept, because it kind of goes in with what we're talking about in the book, and like fighting between.
Yeah, this is the rivalry, as I call it. It's the brain versus the heart. It's the you know, your emotions versus your thoughts, and it's a conflict that everybody is experiencing all the time, whether you're aware of it or not.
Right.
and it's probably, it's what causes our behavior. It's what causes others' behavior. So understanding that there is that inner conflict, I think, can lead to more empathy when it comes to other people's behavior.
Right.
And that's why, like, maybe every now and then it's worth giving people a second chance,
Right.
because they have their own inner conflict
that they're dealing with
that you know nothing about, just like they know nothing about your inner conflict.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So were you just kind of like sitting around and you're like, yo, I'm gonna do this heart versus brain on a shirt? Because I've gotten stopped like in Miami, in New York, like I've worn this in the airport at a shoot, and everybody's like, oh my god, what is that, where did this come from? And I was like,
I can't wait till H&M steals that.
I know,
it's gonna be great. No, I kind of just toyed with the idea for a while, because anxiety is such a regular part of my everyday life.
Right.
And so when I realized, that my body and my mind are like fighting each other and stuff, I try to take a deep breath and settle down and realize that this is just a normal conflict that everybody goes through.
Totally.
So yeah, it's it kind of serves as a reminder. It's more like me acknowledging it, so that when I feel it, instead of feeling helpless, I just recognize that it's one side against the other.
That's awesome. I love that. Oh, I love it. Okay, so the chapter I've chosen for your When to Lose Them is shock value. And we've also had great conversations about this.
Definitely.
And I feel like what I mean by shock value is that a lot of times when people are in something sticky and it's time to get out, they will throw a bunch of consequences or a bunch of like rah, 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 and they don't ever see it through and do anything. So then all of that does nothing because the person on the other end knows you're not really about that life.
Exactly.
So what would you have to say? What's your kind of take on that? And
a lot of times in personal relationships, like intimate relationships, people throw out ultimatums like, you need to do this or we're done, or something along those lines. And then they usually don't hold, true to their word. So really it's just about consistency and being true to your word, because, you can say what you want, but if you keep breaking your word, breaking your promise over and over again, then you're showing that behavior, that consistent behavior that says, I'm not going to do anything about it.
Right.
So, a lot of people like to talk the game and see if they can get some control over the relationship with the easy stuff, because saying stuff is easy.
Exactly. The action is the
doing.
Is the yes.
That's the difficult
We
part.
talked about this the other day, the doing. People that do shit.
Exactly.
So me and Cal fuck with people that do shit. Excuse my French.
Exactly, though. That
Because
really
not a lot of people, that's rare. People don't.
It's really about action, because the idea is easy. So the idea of me, valuing myself, and telling my significant other that they need to value me, or we're done.
Right.
That's easy. That's an easy conversation to have too. It's easy to say that to somebody else, but it's way harder to have that backbone when you actually do it. So I mean, honestly, I think my advice would be say less. Like,
say less.
Just like, it's not so much about what you
say less.
It's about what you do.
Right. No, so, really, that is so true. Because every time too, it's just like you're causing more junk and nothing's happening. So it's just not good in any aspects. So if you are out there struggling, don't be barking until you're ready to bite. In other words, you know what I mean? Okay, but I was going to say too, before we end this, 2020, I wanted this book to come out in January so that people reading it could kind of get a clear perspective and get challenged a little bit in terms of who they have in their life, who they want to be surrounded with going into this new year. So before we leave, what can we expect from you in 2020? Because it's about to be lit.
I know the game. I know the game enough to know that I had to act. I had to do a lot on my own. And I learned a lot of that in 2019. So I'm just gonna continue being as self-sufficient as possible.
There you go. I love that.
And work really hard on not relying on people or chances. I want to take advantage of opportunities and be empowered by the people that I allow around me. But at the same time, I think you got to take care of you.
You totally do. You have to lock in and make stuff happen.
So this year I'm just gonna you can only take yourself so far. Like, that's it. Sure, you need people around you, but if you got good people around you and you don't have a motor, then you're not going anywhere
exactly.
either. So
right,
it's about having a motor.
So you about to motor up on them, in other words. So where can everybody listen to your music? Because y'all gotta catch it. I mean,
it's Cal Scruby.
Y'all are ready. Like, he's being all like, oh, right now, nah. Okay, but
it's Cal Scruby everywhere. So Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere.
And I did get the exclusive shirt, but he sold out. But when you are back in action, all that's on your website as well.
Definitely.
And Instagram and all that good stuff.
Definitely.
So yeah, y'all find my guy. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you, dog.